I want to get your take on this. Ray Dalio just warned that the U.S. is entering years of turbulence driven by large deficits, widening wealth gaps, political divisions, and AI disruption. You're known for being the practical guy. What does this mean for the average person?
I think what I told Dr. Drew many years ago, and not many, but I don't know, 10 years ago. And Dr. Drew's always sort of come to me and said, like, what's next? Where are we heading? What's going on? Because I've always predicted things with him. I said, where we're heading as a nation is safe spaces and octagons. And they said, what does that mean? And I said, there's a group of people that are interested in safety, and they're interested in the government, and they're interested in all the social programs and the safety nets and, 10 months off paid vacations for childbirth and all this kind of nonsense, and they're going to live in the safe spaces. And then there's the other group that likes mixed martial arts and doesn't want to drive an electric car and likes owning a gun and doesn't want to be taxed and doesn't like big government, and those are going to be the octagon people. And so we're going to just segregate, or it's going to naturally happen, which it's already sort of happening now. People who live in California go, I don't like any of this crap, I'm moving to Texas. And they just go to Texas, and then they get to Texas and they go, I like it here because I like driving my truck and I wanted to build something, and the permitting process was easy and so on and so forth. So they like the freedom. The people that are producers like freedom, like the people that pay taxes, go to work every day, create, build, have employees. We want freedom. We want to be left alone. But the people who want what we have don't want freedom. They want the government to get involved and give them what we're earning, essentially. So we're going to just self-segregate into safe spaces and octagons. And then at some point, the safe spaces are going to start falling apart, and they're going to have to go to the octagons and go, we need your protection or we need your money. It's basically like Hochul. Hochul's going to drive everyone out of New York, and then they're going to go to Miami, and then she's going to go, hey, come back and help support all our generous systems that you don't benefit from.
Yeah.
And those people are never coming back.
Now, you mentioned California. Has that become unlivable for the average person?
It's unlivable for the average person in that I was looking at a stat the other day just online. It just popped up, and it said in 1970, the average home, it didn't say in California, it just said in the United States, the average home was $23,000. And the average income was about $10,000. So it was like, a little less than half of what the home would cost. California, where I'm at, or in Los Angeles area, average home's like 1.8, and the average income's probably $63,000, So what used to be half is now, 20th or 25th or something. Like, I don't know how that's sustainable. I have and always had to have people that work for me, young people, sometimes people starting families or new families and stuff like that. And it's like, I know what I pay you, and I know what houses cost around here. It's impossible that you ever own a home. I grew up in the San Fernando Valley. My grandparents bought a house in the 50s for $10,000, and they bought another house in the San Fernando, like a nicer part of what is now a nicer part. Back then it was like, who cared? But they bought one house for 10, one house for 12. My dad bought a house in the early 70s, crappy house, but it was like $13,000. And he bought a house for $13,000 when he made $22,000 a year. You know what I mean? Like he was making more. He was a school teacher kind of thing. He wasn't making big bucks, but now people make 65 and the house is 2.2. Like, if it's anywhere you'd want to live that was safe or what have you.
It's crazy. It reminded me, my grandparents, my grandpa was in the Army, and then he sold appliances, and he bought his house in 1952 in Culver City for $35,000. It's probably worth $1,350 to $1,400.
Oh, no, yeah. And that was the nicest house back then.
It was a tract house. I mean, he picked from like one of 5 floor plans in this little area in Culver City, and he got one of those houses, and that's it. And at the time, I think it was 1,100 square feet, and they enclosed a patio space.
Oh, yeah.
As part of like the living area. And that was it.
Yeah.
But one house.
Yeah. So we're going to have a lot of unhappy campers and then a lot of people that are flourishing, and the politicians are just kind of stoking it on.
Who are the people that are flourishing in California? I'm curious because a few years ago, they had a net migration loss. Their population grew, but more people left the state than the amount of people that were new residents of the state. I imagine that they're still going to continue growing because of birth rates, but this trend is going to continue. And who are the people that are winning by living in California?
I mean, it's really sort of tech guys and sort of ultra billionaire types. I mean,
but why are they leaving
my estimate? Well, I mean, there's a kind of a level of wealth where things don't really matter that much. Like when people go, gas is $7.85 a gallon. Well, if you make $70 million a year, what's the difference between $4 and $7? A lot of, so like when they talk about a lot of that stuff, a lot of those guys just don't care. Like I think in the past, they were willing to kind of suck it up. Now, with the wealth tax and other things like they're floating, these guys are starting to get nervous and starting to realize they can move. And also, it wasn't, when I was growing up in California, the idea of moving somewhere else was kind of absurd. Like people move to California. Like, if someone had said, you think, how about you move to Nashville? And people are like, what? And ride a horse? What am I going to do in Nashville? I don't even know what Nashville is, really. I've seen something on TV. Like, when you're from California, you didn't even know, like, Montana, Nashville, these kind of places. Even Arizona, it's like, why? Go live in the desert? That's not going to work. So you get this kind of mentality of people just come to you, And it was true. Most of the people I knew, once I got out of high school and, once I started in doing comedy, every single person in my comedy troupe was from Pittsburgh, and that guy was from Beaver Falls, and that guy's from Wisconsin, and that guy's from Chicago. Like there was nobody in an improv troupe that was from LA. It literally, you know how I know it? Because whenever football season would come around, no one ever liked the same team. Like we'd literally go, let's go watch the Rams. And they'd be like, Rams? I don't like the Rams. I'm a Patriots fan from Boston. Everybody had their team. And, LA doesn't have a Rams sports bar. They have 2 Steelers sports bars because everyone just came here from somewhere else. So now I think the elite, the only people flourishing in California are probably like NGOs and politicians and stuff that just keep stealing money.
Let me take a wild guess here. You have not got a Father's Day gift yet, and it's June. The date's coming up.
And by the way, we know that dads are impossible to find gifts for because they seemingly have everything they need, but that is why we've partnered with our friends MagBack to get you 15% off the entire site when you use the link and code down below in the description.
They have gifts that your dad will actually use, like the MagBack Elite Case. There's a built-in finger loop for your grip, side rails so it doesn't slip, a kickstand that folds right in, and magnets strong enough to snap onto any metal surface, desk, car, wherever.
And you could also pair it with the MagBack Smart Wallet, which snaps right onto the back of your phone. It holds your cards, and you could even ping it in the event you'll lose it and want to find out where it is.
This is actually so embarrassing, but I kid you not, I used to have 2 wallets. Because I would lose my main wallet so much, I would have a second wallet with a passport card, credit cards, and cash, and I kid you not, I'd use it probably once a month. But with my MagBack, all I have to do is ping it on my phone, and boom bada bing, I know where my wallet is, and I have not lost my wallet since.
since. It's incredible. And if you want to go further, they have multi-chargers, car mounts, Tesla chargers, key tags. There's something for every kind of dad. So get a gift your dad will actually use this year with MagBack. The link is down below in the description. And if you use our code, which is shown on the screen right now, and also down below in the description, you will get 15% off your entire order. And just make sure you order it before the 17th of June so your package will show up with enough time. Again, the link is down below in the description, as well as a code for 15% off your entire order. Happy Father's Day. I am so confident your fathers will absolutely love everything from MagBack. Thank you to MagBack for sponsoring this clip.